Now, I don't think that any of us can go there, whether we're farmers or whether we're healthcare professionals or whether we're anybody else. I also learned from a colleague of mine who's doing some research right now that when a child comes down with type 2 diabetes, that child's healthcare costs are going to be somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000 in his lifetime. Now, I can understand why the colleagues that I'm working with who are also part of health insurance companies are saying, we can't go there. We don't have a future if this is where we're headed. So what we're talking about here, the kind of coalition that we're imagining here, the conversations we've started here, I think has to become a part of everything that all of us do, whether we're farmers like me, whether we're healthcare professionals, whether we're conservationists, whether we're environmentalists, whether we're involved in politics in one way or another. This is a common issue for others. For all of us, we can no longer operate out of our own silos. We have to begin to find ways to become food citizens and healthcare citizens and become actively engaged in our own individual lives, our community activities, as well as our political activities in terms of trying to do our part to influence the political process to begin to deal with these issues. I think there's one other thing that's important which hasn't come up in the conversation that I heard in the last 2 days, and that's the role of the arts in all of this. Because we have to find ways that the general public can imagine a better life in terms of their health and in terms of their food than they currently have. If they can't imagine a better life than they currently have, they're logically going to try to keep what they've currently got because they think that's as good as it gets. And so I don't know of anybody better than people in the arts and the humanities who can tell the stories in a convincing way to help us understand that things could be a lot better. And there's a lot of data, in fact, that the quality of life is not as good as we have, I think, convinced ourselves that it is.